Welcome back, students. So in this class or in this lecture, we'll try to understand about modern software economics. So in this modern software economics, we basically have 10 different principles. So first principle is your software problem delivery is going to cost around 100 times when compared to identifying the problems at the early stages. So here the delivery cost is going to be 100 times when compared to identifying the problem in early design phases. So what do I mean by this is, so here by using your modern software approaches or by using the advanced software problems or programming languages, so because of their high level encapsulation strategies, the total cost vested on your project should be actually reduced, or the total cost vested on your design phases should be reduced. But in practical, what actually happening is it is going to increase the total cost vested, and this ratio is in terms of 10 to 100 times when compared to your delivery cost. So that is your first impact. That is how it is going to impact the software economics in your modern approaches. So second is right. So second, compress software development schedule 25% of nominal but not more. So here in this case, what your modern software approach is doing is, so you can hardly compress around only 25% of the total software development schedule. So this 25% also depends on your automation tools, and this cannot be further reduced more than this 25, and this is taken as your nominal place here, right? So this is for the complete life cycle, and based on the intellectual people who are working on your project, this could differ, but not more than 25. So third is, for every 1 rupee you spend, it is around $2 you are spending on your maintenance. So once your project is developed, deployed at the user's end, right? So before deployment, for the development, if you take it around only $1 or 1 rupee is vested on its development. So there are number of maintenance tools that are available, and there are number of maintenance procedures that are supposed to follow, parameters that are available in order to maintain your software. So your modern software approaches, it is going to vest more on your maintenance when compared to your development strategies. So this is taken in ratio of $1 is to $2 on your maintenance when compared to your development. Fourth, so first, your software development and maintenance, the cost of the software development and maintenance can be taken as a primary function. So this is based on the number of source of lines of code that you are going to do. So what is this? Is the primary driving force of your the primary driving driver on the cost of your project is these two. What are the software development and the maintenance costs itself? So these are taken as a fundamental parts of your project development. So here based on the increase in the number of source of lines of code, the cost could gradually increase, and as the number of source of lines of codes increases, the total maintenance on your software also gets increased, right? So this is going to based on the number of resources you are using, based on the number of sources you are using, based on the number of tools you are using, this cost also differs. So it is always recommended in your software in your modern software approaches to reduce this source of code, lines of code, the maintenance tools and all, so that you can reduce the total cost on your vested on these tools. Fourth, variation among the people here. So here variation among the people could be like if the agreement between the customers and the users, customers and the developers, if the agreement among the developers and the testers. So this could impact the cost also, because the customer may not be satisfied with the users like developers output, and the tester could identify the bugs at the early stages or at the later stages, and these bugs are supposed to be fixed. So that also impacts on the productivity of your software, right? Fifth, the overall ratio of your software to hardware cost is always growing. In the year 1955, it was 15:85, and in the year 1985 it is 85:15. So what do I mean by this is, so now in the initial period the total cost was majorly, like in the period of 1955, the most of the cost was vested on your hardware, and most of the cost was vested on your hardware and very less cost was vested on your software. So it was in the ratio of 15:85. 15 was your software cost and 85 was your hardware cost. But because of the impact of this automation tools, because of the impact of this automation maintenance tools, the total cost vested on your hardware is reduced when compared to your software. Now the software cost in the year 1985 was impacted around 85% of your total cost, and 15% was only vested on your hardware cost. So the total cost on your software is increased when compared to your hardware here. 6. Only 15% of software development effort is devoted to programming. So here in this case there are a number of SLOC tools or there are a number of software programming tools that are available, or software programming approaches that are available. So because of these software programming approaches, hardly around 15% of your software development effort was made, and the rest was laid on to other approaches. Next, so your software systems and products, they are costing around 3 times as per your SLOC. So here in this case, software products could cost around 9 times as much, and so what this is, so when you are going to design your software, the total source based on the source of lines of code, the total cost is growing rapidly in terms of 3 times here. So as the source lines increases, the cost vested on that particular source lines also increases by 3 times. So this is going to impact completely around 9 times on your total software development cost. So that impacts on the software product. So ninth part, so your walkthroughs catch around 60% of the errors. So walkthroughs in the case, the early stages, if you are able to identify the risks involved in your project, bugs in your project or errors in your project. So in order to rectify only these errors, total 60% of so there are around 60% of errors that are identified in your project development, and in order to overcome these errors, again your modern softwares are wasting some cost on this in order to rewrite your source lines again. And last, 80% of your contribution is only from 20% of your contributors. So total contribution of your software development, it is major part of your contribution is taken only from the 20% of the people who are working on your project. So in this case, if I put it in a simple way, so in your 4 phases what we have discussed, so most part of your project development will work on your implementation part when it compares to your other 3 phases. So in the implementation phase, if there are around 20 people working and in other phases there are around 60 to 80 people are working, so only 20 people are putting more effort in order to design their project, and the others, they are putting only less effort. So more people or more automation tools are involved only at this particular phase. So that is what this 80% of your contribution comes from your 20% of your contributors. So that is all for this particular lecture. Let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you.